Welcome back. Breaking news this morning. President Trump just posted on Truth Social that the deal with China is done. The president says it is subject to final approval with President Xi and me, the president. Full magnets as any necessary rare earths will be supplied up front by China. Likewise, we will provide to China what was agreed to, including Chinese students using our colleges and universities. The president just posting that. We are waiting for official confirmation that it is approved by President Trump and Xi Jinping. But again, the president did just post, as we have been reporting, that the deal with China is done. We'll get more information as it becomes available. Markets are off of their lows right now. Dow Industrials down 73 as the Senate is set to huddle with committee chairs today to discuss, quote, technical corrections in the big, beautiful bill. House Republicans writing to Senate Majority Leader John Thune, urging the upper chamber to maintain the bill's fiscal framework and avoid any budget gimmicks. I spoke with Oklahoma Senator James Lankford on this program just moments ago on the impact of the proposed SALT cap on small business. Watch.
The small business side is the major piece of this. This will come out with a permanent tax rate for corporations, permanent tax rate for pass-throughs in small businesses, permanent tax rate for individuals. That means in the future, Congress makes the changes rather than the calendar making the changes. That is the biggest issue that we're facing. If we don't act on this right now, literally January the 1st of next year, we'll have a giant tax increase on every small business, every manufacturer, every individual. We can't have that again. So we're trying to solve that.
So we were talking about the changes to the pass-throughs as well as on individuals for the potential increase in the SALT cap deduction. Joining me now is Pennsylvania Senator Dave McCormick. Senator, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for being
good
here.
Morning. Good morning. How are you, Maria?
Okay, and there are a lot of things here that will make the tax code look very different. What are your priorities there in the Senate in terms of what changes you'd like to see on this bill?
Well, I think that the most important thing is what Senator Lankford just said, which is we've got to avoid the biggest tax raise in history. This is great for businesses, it's great for small businesses, it's good for the individual tax rate. A family of 50,000, who makes 50,000 a year, if we did not move forward on this, would have a tax increase of $2,000. So getting this in place is key. There's some things that I hope we can do on the margin. I campaigned on the idea of eliminating tax credits for alternative sources of energy, but I think we need to phase those out in a little more of a focused way. There's some provisions in there that affect foreign investors. I think getting foreign direct investment into the United States is critical, so I'd like to see some adjustments on that. We just had this huge announcement of the Nippon deal, $14 billion of new investment in U.S. Steel. So I'd like to do some things in the margin. I think we can probably be a little more fiscally responsible here in terms of bending the curve on spending. But I'm very confident that if we stay focused, we're going to deliver on something that the House and the Senate can pass and deliver on President Trump's agenda, which is so critical for the future of the country.
Yeah, I think it's a great point that you make, because the administration, and I know many of you and many of your colleagues, say that taxes are unfairly discriminate against U.S. businesses, whether it's the digital services tax or the OECD pillar tax. So you're going to try to change that in this bill.
Yeah, listen, I think there's a lot of things that we can do to make this better. I mean, I recognize we're dealing with very slim majorities in the House and the Senate, but at the same time, we need to do everything we can to make it better and deliver on the president's priorities. And this is the art of the possible, but we shouldn't sit here for a second and not say we can make the bill better. And that's what the next couple of weeks are about.
Let me get your take on the steel workers. You just mentioned the Nippon U.S. Steel deal. The president delivering for America's steel workers after the $14 billion deal with Japan's Nippon Steel. It's expected to preserve more than 11,000 Pennsylvania jobs, and there's a promise of creating 14,000 more. Does that seem realistic to you? I know you've said that the partnership will lead to success for Pennsylvania. What is the specific impact?
Oh, this is such a huge step for Pennsylvania. First and foremost, this investment and this partnership with Nippon preserves the Mon Valley, which is the heart of domestic steelmaking. There's 10,000 jobs there, steelworkers in the surrounding areas. And essentially, this is a long-term commitment by investing in the Mon Valley, $2.5 billion of new investment on a new arc furnace. So you preserve the existing capability. And then there's something like 14,000 new jobs to build this new arc furnace. In addition to that, there's more than $12 billion of additional investment around the country, Indiana, Alabama, Arkansas, Minnesota, that's going to be just terrific for our domestic steel industry. In addition to that, I mean, the president had reservations about the deal when I talked to him about it when he came to the National Wrestling Championships in Pennsylvania. And over the last couple months, the deal has gotten much better to include a structure that ensures a U.S. CEO, a majority board, and government oversight of key board members, which ensures U.S. national security interests are protected. So this is the kind of thing we need to do to ensure that these critical industries for our national security, our economic security, are robust. We need to partner with allies like Japan. I think this is great for our security, great for our national security, economic security. But most of all, and I said this to President Trump, this is great for the guys who came to the rallies in Latrobe and Allegheny County and Pittsburgh, who voted for him, who voted for me. We promised to support those working families, and this is a huge step in doing so.
Yeah, and it's a good point that you make, because it shows that President Trump is not against deals, and he's not against deals even with a foreign country. He just made the deal better and ensured that it meant a U.S. CEO and U.S. jobs were created. You also have job creation potential with this Amazon investment. Amazon investing $20 billion to fund the construction of AI data centers in Pennsylvania. This is the largest economic development project in state history. How important is this as we all try to gain an edge over China when it comes to AI and data centers?
Oh, this was such a big day. On Monday, we made an announcement 6 miles from where I grew up. This was in Berwick, Pennsylvania. Amazon announced the biggest investment in Pennsylvania's history, $20 billion. And this is going to create, again, thousands of permanent jobs in these AI data centers across Pennsylvania. It's going to create thousands of construction jobs building these huge data centers. And you're so right. Pennsylvania is blessed. We have bountiful energy. We have a great building trades, skilled workforce. We have plentiful water. We have great universities. All of that makes Pennsylvania very attractive. But this is the vanguard. This is the point of the spear in the fight against communist China, to ensure that we're the leaders of AI, the leaders in the technological capability to preserve our superpower status. And I've always said that the AI, the intersection of energy and AI runs through Pennsylvania. We want to be at the vanguard of this fight, and we want to be the beneficiary of all this foreign investment. This is, I hope, I've had two big announcements have come in the last couple of weeks. I hope to see a lot more.
That's wonderful. Are you seeing, I mean, you were in business for so long before you went into government, Senator. Do you see your former colleagues in business understanding President Trump's thinking when it comes to this need, this urgency to get manufacturing back to America? I mean, it took, tariffs for the president to move some of these large industrial companies to say, okay, we're going to invest in America and we're going to open up industrial factories here because it's important on a national security level. Do you see a movement there from your colleagues in business, former colleagues?
I do. Yeah, I do. I see a transition, and it starts with the basic premise that we need to recognize, and President Trump recognizes this as well as anyone, that the key to economic growth and prosperity is creating a business environment where U.S. businesses, small and large, can prosper. So that's the starting point. The tariffs, the deregulation, the energy dominance, all of these things are designed to make Pennsylvania and the United States the place that companies want to invest.
Right.
On top of that, he's got an appreciation for the key to Pennsylvania's and America's future are these working families. And so we got to make the deals good for them. We got to make this a place where everybody can live the American dream. And we got to have, this cuts across, this isn't a Republican issue, Maria. This cuts across Republicans, Democrats, labor, business. We're doing everything we can to make America great again and deliver that American dream to everybody. And I think we're making huge progress, and I couldn't be more excited.
Senator, it's great to see you this morning. We'll be watching your work. Thank you, sir.